It is that time of the night where, once again, I yell at everybody to get off my lawn. It's the Dave 101.
It's time for Dave 101.
The story of a lifetime is apparently about to drop in the Washington Post, where Ralph Blumenthal and Leslie Kane are allegedly about to drop disclosure. 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 And apparently, this is the article of all articles that will once and for all end the debate on whether or not we are alone in the universe. Well, I'm taking the wait and see approach because we've heard this disclosure much before. Yeah, we've heard it for years. We heard it from the TTSA. We heard it from Dr. Stephen Greer 30 years ago and 20 years ago. The big D, as we call it in this field, is a much maligned word that is thrown around more than your average adult movie star. However, this is where I am telling our audience, take caution. Because what is disclosure after all? To every one of us, it means something different. To some, it's the admittance that UFOs or UAP are around. Well, good luck in finding more man-made objects that stand for UAP. We want UFOs around here. I don't like the idea that any type of disclosure that we are going to see is going to have little caveats around it. Yeah, well, we can't tell you the whole story. Why? Well, national security. No, we're not going to tell you about aliens. No, we're not going to tell you where they're coming from. No, we're not going to tell you that we have crash retrievals. No, we're not going to tell you this or that, or come on, just get off the soapbox and let real disclosure happen. The unfortunate part about what we are going through right now is any sort of soft disclosure is going to be the ultimate orgasmic satisfaction for people at UFO Twitter, the I told you so's, the pro TTSAers, and everybody who stands on that side of the ledger. Now, come to the reality side for a moment, will you? Come on over. Come on over. What does disclosure actually mean? Well, if you Google it, disclosure has this meaning. Right? The act of making something known or the fact that is made known, any public disclosure of this information would be very damaging to a company, as an example. Okay, which means we need to know everything. We need to know what happened at Roswell, what happened at Kecksburg, what happened at Aztec, what happened in Phoenix, Shag Harbor, and everything in between. Have we made alien contact? Okay. Is Skitty Bob real? What about, all of these alien sightings people are having? Does the government know about those? What about these orbs that are speeding through the water at Mach speed, then take up into the air and shoot up into the stars at about 60 to 80,000 miles an hour? What's ours and what's not? Is there a secret space program? This is the disclosure that we need. It isn't about valiant Thor working for the White House or the Pentagon, even though that would be nice to know as well. We don't need to know about human drones. We don't need to be blaming China or Russia anymore because we already know their spy systems are coming through North America on a daily basis. No, this is about real UFOs, not this UAP crap. Okay? We need to know about real UFOs. We need to know about real aliens and other civilizations that are out there, not stuff that is made in Taiwan or made in Beijing or made in Moscow or Vietnam or wherever it may be. We need true answers. And that is the battle that we are seeing leading up to this point, is what is the true answer? Gary Nolan from Stanford University has taken a lot of heat for coming out that he believes that 100% aliens are here. And of course, because of the amount of vile comments that he got on social media, he has slowly kind of retracted that statement, right? But it's out there. He said it. He said it to a group of potential investors who may be looking to get into the UFO game. And why not? If they're willing to write the check, we should be willing to spend it on trying to find out the truth behind this story. The identity of disclosure is opening up that Pandora's box that sits in the Pentagon somewhere and letting us know. It isn't about a NASA conference on May 31st that's going to tell us nothing, where they took the most basic questions after asking the public to ask questions. What would you like to know? Type it in here, and then taking the same 8 basic questions that a 3-year-old could ask them. Yep, the cover-up is on. We know there's a narrative, and we know it's not changing. But for the love of God, do not call this or anything that comes out a disclosure. Because we already know. We already know there are things happening that cannot be explained. We already know that UFOs are real. We already know that UAP are man-made. We already know that the government doesn't want this story to come out, neither does the military. We know that we are in a confirmation movement, which is why, while everybody is getting excited, and I've taken phone calls even tonight on it, everybody's getting excited about this big Washington Post article that is going to electrify the UFO audience. And I'm taking the stand that I will believe it when I see it, or in this case, read it. Look, we have had the wool pulled over our eyes in this community enough to know that we're tired of the BS. We're tired of the hype. We're tired of videos of flares. We're tired of videos of the video of the century. This one's going to say it. Or you get some government official saying, yeah, but if you saw the full video, you would understand what we're talking about. Well, show us the video. You know, it reminds me as a kid, and I think we all went through this, when late night in television, where sometimes they may have showed some nudity, and mom and dad would be there covering your eyes, saying, oh, you can't look right now, son, or you can't look right now, daughter. That's what they're doing to us when it comes to UFOs and disclosure. They are covering our eyes very weakly and saying that there's nothing there to see. While in the meantime, they're telling us there's plenty to see. So which one is it? Which one do they actually want to give us? If you talk to Bob McGuire or John Ramirez, who are both at our SOR fan party, they are hyped up that disclosure is literally around the corner. And we are talking like that foot is right around the corner, and they're about to step across into our sight lines. That's not the case. Don't believe it at all. They may know more than you and me because of the insiders who they talk to who are still affiliated to the alphabet agencies, whether it's the CIA, NSA, NRO, FBI, or the military branches. But on the serious side, how does that help the public? What are they going to tell the public? And is this a one and done story that's coming from the Washington Post? Or is there going to be major follow-up because disclosure is about to happen? This is what we need to find out. Ralph Blumenthal is a Pulitzer Prize winner. He would love to have his name attached to this. Any journalist would. Leslie Kean is the pride of the field of ufology, going back to Bud Hopkins, John Mack, and many others. They're going to get what they can. But to say that it's disclosure, we're going to have to read it before we believe it. We've heard the motto before, and we've had the wool pulled over our eyes many a times. But aren't we getting a little tired of the same thing happening over and over and over again? They keep telling us we don't need to know. Keep telling us we're not ready. Even though I don't believe society as a whole is ready. I'm ready personally. People who've had UFO contact or extraterrestrial contact are ready. Is the public ready, though? Those who work on Wall Street, those who work in the financial industry, those who are part of serious religions, those who are paranoid about life right now because life is hard, are they ready? Are they ready to have their TV, their internet, their radios inundated with UFO stories from reporters who really don't care about this topic and not telling the full story? Are they ready to learn that their two children, house with a white picket fence, one dog, one cat, isn't all that life is cracked up to be? It's interesting to see where this is going to play out. Now, I'm not as excitable, and I don't agree that we are close to any sort of disclosure. Call it a feeling that I have. I've been wrong. I could be wrong on this. But I really do believe that we need to, as a UFO community, not buy in to absolutely everything that is brought forward. Whether it's a UFO video, still photos, podcasters, radio broadcasters, YouTubers, you name it. We need to stand up for ourselves. We need to edit ourselves. We need to be our biggest skeptics because we know the truth is out there. But who is giving us the truth? Up until 5-6 years ago, everybody in ufology knew the words of this: never trust a government agent when it comes to UFOs because they're not going to tell you the truth. And now the government is telling us, trust us. We're going to give you the truth. We're going to get down to the truth. We want the truth. We're fighting for the truth. And in the meantime, many people who are allegedly fighting for that truth are working for Space Force, Space Command, and the DOE and the NRO and every other alphabet agency that wants to do a cover-up on this. There's a lot of hypocrisy going on when it comes to the word disclosure. This is why I never bought into UAP. I never bought into disclosure. And I've tried to forewarn all of you to take a deeper look into everything that goes on, because we are going to try and have more wool pulled over our eyes. We don't have to take it. We can be smarter than that. But let's take this by baby steps and feed the information into ourselves to see what is right and what is just plain wrong. That is your Dave 101 for tonight. Let me know what you think by leaving a comment if you're listening to this on our YouTube channel. I'd love to get your opinion.